One of the best fighters outside of the UFC is now asking for his release. Patchy Mix, former Bellator fighter and now PFL fighter, is asking for his official release from the company, who says that they are fighter first, and if you don't want to be there, you are free to go. Patchy Mix put out a statement on social media airing out all his grievances that he has with the PFL, with the former Bellator management, and what's going on in his life right now. This guy's in the prime of his career. He's 31 years old, and he wants to leave, move on to bigger and better things. He thinks that he can do very well in the UFC. He's been dominant in his run at Bellator. Let's take a look at what he had to say online. Patchy Mix. Right now, I'm 31 years of age. I'm in the prime of my career. I spent the last 6 years of my life dedicated to Bellator MMA. I worked extremely hard and sacrificed everything to win the Grand Prix and become a 3-time, multi-time world champion. Now with the promotion gone, I'm exactly the champion of what? Who knows? I've always showed up to put all out on the line. Have never turned down a single fight. Right now, in perspective, as a healthy world champion, I fought just once going on 15 months now. I hasn't fought in 15 months. All my momentum in my career has been lost, as this is the longest layoff of my 31 fights and I've had between amateur and pro. I'm now 20-1, close to 5 years undefeated. I finished my last 13 of 15 opponents and am legitimately one round removed from a perfect 21-0. Not a boring entertainer either, since I have 80% finish rate. I know now that I'm the best in the world right now at bantamweight and want to prove this. I ask this with the utmost respect and urgency from the PFL, Don Davis, whoever's related there. Please release me from my contract so I can perform to make money and do what I have to do to support my family. I'm in the prime of my career and I'm the best. I should be able to compete against the other best fighters in the world and not be on the shelf. If the sky was the limit, I'm on the moon right now, skill-wise, and there should be only one octagon I display my skill set in. Please, the ambassador of PFL is Francis Ngannou. I mean, I'm a world champion out here in the same gym as you, and you personally see how hard I work day in and day out and try to be a leader for this team. This is no way to treat a champion. Please release me. Patchy Mix. This comes off the back of months and months of these former Bellator fighters who had large contracts not being allowed to fight by the PFL. The PFL just recently released former champion Patricio Pitbull. He was a long-reigning dominant champion. Patchy Mix, on the other hand, kind of that younger up-and-coming guy for the past couple of years, but now he has cemented himself as one of their best fighters over there in the PFL. He said this just a couple of months ago. I mean, he's been talking about this release and getting out of here for months. I've been training my ass off for the last half a year for nothing. This is frustrating. In the prime of my career, I've had my fight in November canceled. Then now again, I'm being told that I'm off the January Dubai card. I'm the best in the world and I want to fight to prove it. He has not been allowed to fight. He's been scheduled to fight multiple times and they have moved him or pulled the fight from fruition for no reason, it seems. Or for TV reasons or contractual reasons. It seems very weird that they are leading this man on in certain specific ways. But let's get into what Patchy Mix means and what he could do after leaving the PFL. Patchy Mix, 20 wins, 1 loss, as he spoke about. He's got a 65% submission rate, 2 TKOs on his loss, and 5 decisions. This guy is a submission maniac, an absolutely dangerous threat on the ground. One of the best on the ground in the bantamweight division that we have seen in a long, long time. Very dangerous, always goes for the finish. His last couple of wins are against tough guys. Magomedov, the guy infamous for beating Peter Yan on the regional scene. He's beaten this guy twice now. Sergio Pettis, brother of Anthony Pettis, former champion in Bellator. Rafael Stotts, former Bellator champ. Kyoji Horiguchi fought in the UFC. Flyweight contender, moved up, was fighting at bantamweight in Bellator. James Gallagher, he's very, very tough in Bellator over there. Juan Archuleta, he did lose to him, but it was a close decision. There's other guys on his record. Ricky Bandejas, Keith Richardson, Tony Gravely, Andre Ewell. There's multiple guys early on that he fought that went on to go into the UFC. Tony Gravely and Andre Ewell stand out there. Other former UFC fighters. I mean, this guy took out Rafael Stotts with a big knee. Huge dominant victory there. Easy win for Patchy Mix. Locked up the submission over Sergio Pettis. Locked it up, cinched it in. Easy peasy. Second round there. beat Horiguchi. Horiguchi is nobody to sneeze at. This guy's very, very tough. Former UFC fighter, has fought some of the best around the world, and Patchy Mix defeated him. But Dana White, we know. Listen, Patchy Mix is in Sydney right now. He's in the corner of Tatiana Suarez. She's fighting Zhang Weili for the women's strawweight belt. We know that Patchy Mix is down there. He's around the UFC. He's speaking with the UFC. He's been training at the PI a lot. He's been training down there at Extreme Couture. He's around the UFC all the time. There's no question in my mind there are not conversations happening as we speak, as this week moves on, that there are not conversations going on when he gets in the room with the UFC. This is funny. Just a quick little meme here. Dana White to Patchy Mix and Dakota Jicheva. Two of their fighters that he really, really wants to get because they're in the prime of their career. They're two of the best, and they could really do something in the UFC. Two guys, two fighters, that is. Patchy Mix, at least, American homegrown talent.
No way. I'm going to get you out of here. I promise you, I'm going to get you out of there. You don't belong in there.
That's Dana White to Patchy Mix. I'm going to get you out of there, kid. We're going to save you. Here he is with Tatiana Suarez. I think this is his fiance, if not his wife at this point. There's a lot of ties to the UFC. There's a lot of connections to the UFC for Patchy Mix. And he's one of these fighters that isn't just some old aging veteran like Patricio Pitbull. He's young. He's in the prime of his career. He's ready to put it all out on the line. He's always going in there to finish the fight no matter what. And this guy wants to put on a show, get released from his PFL contract. The PFL says that they are fighter first. They say they will release guys if they want to get out. Will they hold true to that? Will they stand their ground? Will they be truthful? Only time will tell. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys want to see Patchy Mix get released from the PFL? Do you want to see him in the UFC?